From Sinatra, swing to Brando's stage. Maryland's grace to JFK's age. It's Gianni Russo, Hollywood's own, where Jeannie, Raymond secrets are shown. Hollywood Godfather.
Welcome, everybody. It's time for another Hollywood Godfather podcast. And we have a new part of our show. We're going to introduce it tonight. Thanks for Jeannie's brilliance.
Oh,
And we are now going to start to discuss a favorite movie that you may like I've made, because I made 46 of them, or a TV show, because I did 200 of them. I think I did like 15 Rockford Files, which I really liked, James Garner.
oh,
So
I
that's a
love
new
him.
thing. Oh, and such a gentleman. But so now, if you remember these categories, just go on IMDb and Jeannie, you're going to tell them how to do that, right?
IMDb. Yeah, well, we've already had some people who have gone on YouTube and they're excited about this new thing where once a month we're going to talk about a show you've done. So if you
Yeah, I
guys
think it's
want,
great too, because this you and I give it an opportunity to expand on it, and we have so many great things happening, fortunately, which
That's
we'll
right.
discuss once we get into the show. And
That's right.
and I think somebody requested Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers, yeah. Because some of us, have young kids, and my kids in 93, my kids were right in that age where they were playing all those games and stuff like that. So, and what a different show for someone like you to be doing. So, how'd you get involved with that show?
Well, it's so funny. I was on the CBS Radford a lot at the time in LA, doing a show I called AJ's Time Travelers. And fortunately, I got recognized by that from Fox, because Fox had a Power Rangers on, and most of the mothers and fathers were calling Fox because all these kids were, karate kicking their sister or vice versa, and they were hurting each other. So they needed something that's friendly. And Rupert Murdoch knew me well enough, and he said, "I know you were developing something in Europe," and I was, for the Bakri brothers, and I was involved with TNV over there in Indonesia, which is their TV network. So, a long story short, I got involved in this, and then along come Power Rangers. I mean, Super Mario Brothers, and my two youngest kids at that time, Adriana and Luciano, were big fans of it. And it got crazy with me, because I went and met everybody and they hired me. And I was so excited to be in it. And we actually had a Saturday afternoon premiere in California. And I had my daughter on one side of me and Luciano on the other side of me. And I didn't know how into this they were. And I don't know how many people in our audience even know about the format. But my character kidnapped the princess. And my daughter went crazy on me. Here I'm doing this to have fun with them. She could, and these kids take it as a reality that I actually kidnapped the princess. And how could you do that, Dad? I'm saying to myself, Adriana, it's a TV show. It's not true. She didn't want to know about it. But anyway, that's how I got involved in it. But I enjoy doing all kinds of, fortunately, as we go through these roster of films. I mean, I've done some great stuff that you could look up with The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. And that's a staple every Christmas that's on. Fortunately, because I invested in that too. So every year we have this run on it, fortunately, all over the world, People don't realize residuals come from everywhere, thank God. And so that's how I got involved in it. I can't hear you at all. You're talking. Thank you.
There we
You
go.
talk.
Yeah,
There, thank
there
you.
we go. I don't
Oh,
know. I must have pushed a button. But as I was looking into it, there was a lot of people in that show, a lot of movie stars, but they said it was not a easy show to film, and that there were 9 different writers before the movie was made, and that there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and the actor that played the main character, they said they were getting drunk and drinking every day. It was a hard movie, and they said they finally quit memorizing their lines because every day they would get there and
news
somebody,
sheets, newspaper. Yeah.
yeah,
No, I mean, it was a hectic thing, but fortunately, the world was waiting for it and it got great reviews, even though it
yeah,
was terrible.
yeah, and that's what they said. But then I was watching, there's like this little group of followers of young kids that follow that movie, and the one kid said on one of the YouTube videos, it was a terrible movie, and I watch it all the time. I love it, you know,
Oh,
but
I know.
kids had to love it.
What I'm thinking about as you're saying that now, because, Nick Pileggi is a good friend of mine. He gave me a forward on my last book, and he's actually giving me a forward on this one. And for people who don't know who Nick Pileggi is, I mean, he's probably one of the prolific screenwriters in the world with Casino and Scarface, and he's going through a, a dilemma actually because he had a trilogy, and the last part of the trilogy was this Alto King,
Oh,
that
Alto
dinero
Nights, Alto Nights,
Alto Nights, yeah. Well, I keep changing the title too. That's why I don't even know what it's called anymore.
right,
And I feel so bad for him because, here's a guy that has a career of
right,
masterpieces, actually.
right,
Look him up. His writing is amazing.
right.
And Ultimate Nights is his last piece
Oh,
because he's ready to retire at 93. Hello, why not?
oh, wow,
And
yeah,
they cut it, they recut it, and they added women in it and the wives and just to embellish it. It just doesn't work.
right. And
It just
there were parts with De Niro that I thought were really good, but then there were parts where they didn't look different enough, and there was a couple
yeah,
of
you
parts
didn't
where I
know
was
that.
thinking, now which one's which,
Oh
but
yeah,
they
and
were
that's what
missing.
most of the audience is saying that.
Yeah,
I mean,
who's who? Well,
Rotten Apples is a platform that votes on it, and this one
oh, that
every
Rotten Tomatoes,
Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes, right?
I'm glad I have you. See, well, I'm getting senile at my 82 years of age.
Hey, at 82, you're pretty sharp, but you're pretty sharp. You may get an apple or a, what'd you say, apple or a tomato. Hey, they're both red, but I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
there's certain things. We talk about money and making deals. I know you save all your smarts for those. You
Oh
know,
yeah, man.
that's
Talking about making deals, I got a great announcement. Who now is one of our sponsors every week, and this deal, I would have to say probably this is one of my best ever deals in my life. And it's so nice to do something this large at where I am in my life. But I just made an exclusive deal with Resorts World for the Catskills and all their other properties. And they're based out of Malaysia, London, and what's more exciting, a year from now, actually a year from this Friday, the 4th of July, they're opening Aqueduct Park, which is a racetrack in New York City. People don't know that or do know it.
I know that.
Yeah, the good news about that's 18 acres.
Crazy.
They're putting billions into it. And that's what this whole buildup is now, is me being in player development. because they know I've been in the casino
Yeah, you've
business
done
all
it.
my life. In fact, I opened my first club at the Tropicana, and just because I had nothing to do, while I had a problem with the Colombo family after his assassination attempt, because nobody could understand why wasn't I there sitting in the chair that had my name on it. So that was another whole can of apples or tomatoes. And,
Oh,
and
okay, a worm, apples full of worms and everything else.
yeah. So
Yeah.
with that said, I mean, I got involved in all of that dilemma. But now here I am going to be traveling the world. Everything is so first class. The deal they made with me is insane. I mean, really, and I'm, during even the negotiations, I said, I'm just going to sit here because they're going to give me more than I want. And they did. And,
Wow.
and it was everybody there. And then that night we had dinner, and out of respect, a man who I don't want to use his last name. He's so well versed and well respected in the gaming industry. He's the president of Resorts World internationally.
Oh, wow.
He came to say hello to me and welcome me that night, Saturday night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
everybody was so nice, and we're going to have charity dinners here once a month. I mean, they're well supportive. They want to, and they love my property here to have, high rollers like having dinners off premises,
sure.
or they introduced them to the property. And one of the smartest things they did, I filmed my own house prior to going to this meeting, and it really looks great on film because you
Oh,
you saw some of it. And the dining room sits 16. I mean, it's all Baroque marble, the antiques, and so I mean, I made a great deal. I can't say enough about it, and I say it. You know, Gino, who's my guy for many many years, been trying to get me there, and fortunately, he did. So I have to thank him. And it's going to be a great relationship. You're going to hear a lot about it, and so let's get into the Super. What you got questions on us? How are we going to handle this?
no, no. Well, we're just going to talk a little bit about it. So then I've got another movie here. We'll just move on to the next one. Con Man. Now, I started looking through it and I saw James Caan and Talia Shire. And then I thought, I've got to look at that again. Were they in Con Man also?
Well, yeah, not only that. I mean, Con Man came at the end of a riff that I had with James Caan
Right.
since day one in The Godfather. And somebody put this movie together, and I said, "Are you kidding me?" They said no, and they a lot of times I make decisions by the money they offer me.
Oh, of course.
And they offered me a lot of money to be in this movie. And I didn't even read the script. I didn't even care. And I really don't. Sometimes I just go do movies because I like who's going to be in them. And they
Sure.
always worked out. And this was one of those movies. But I mean, that was the first time James Garner and I, well, the second time I should say, in our lives that we did a movie again many years later. Do you remember when Con Man was made?
Oh, let me look. I can certainly look it up because I was looking through those and I just thought I'm looking at the cast on IMDb and I just thought, you've got to be kidding me. I'm surprised we hadn't heard that before, you know?
It wasn't a great movie, but it did well because everybody wanted to see the three of us together again.
Right. Well, and James Caan, I don't know what his son's name, but he's got a
Scott.
handsome son. Oh, okay. And he was on Hawaii Five-0. Good looking kid. And I've always liked him, and it was a long time before I knew that they were
I knew
that was.
Scott since he's a little boy,
Oh
and
yeah.
it's interesting, because Scott Kahn. I mean, I'm not saying anything out of school. He's a very short guy. He's
Good
like
looking kid.
5'5" or something like that. but he's made a great career for himself. I never got to know him. I know of him, period. The
Oh,
age.
2018.
Wow.
So
That was Con Man?
that's what it's saying right here. 2000.
Maybe that's when they released it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Well, let's see.
Well, give us a little synopsis of it.
It
Let's
says
say that.
4.7 stars.
That's good.
Yeah, the story of Barry Minko, a young charismatic businessman who becomes a wealthy CEO by lying, cheating, and stealing his way to the top.
But that's a true, based on a true story.
Oh, really?
That kid, Binko, right? Or Minko, what his name was?
Minko. Yeah.
He was. I don't know what he was selling on television. Made millions with it, and never delivered anything.
Oh
It's a
my
true
God.
story. But anyway, I forgot who played him. Was
Some,
it?
let's see who. I don't. James Caan, Ving Rhames, Justin Baldoni.
No, but I mean, who they don't give the characters they played.
Yeah. I gotta move around here on. Let's see. Justin Baldoni.
That's who played him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that I haven't seen that one, but it's certainly worth looking into.
Yeah, 4.5 stars. I mean, that's
Yeah,
big.
that's a good one. All right, let's do a quick commercial and then we'll ask about a couple other things.
Well, the next commercial, Jeannie and I will be together there. We're going to Knoxville, and that's on the 11th of July. And it's called Fanboy. What is it called?
Fanboy Expo.
Fanboy Expo. We'll be there for 3 days, actually, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I'm telling you that I cannot believe the people that are coming to this. I mean, in the one we went to in California, they had pictures up that showed us who some of those people were, but I wouldn't have known otherwise. The guy in Bad Santa, of course, I knew him, and there were the 90210 folks. But I'm telling you, this fanboy has some big hitters. Gene Simmons from Kiss, and I feel bad, but I don't know the bass guitar player's name. John Schneider. I'll tell you, these are the ones I want to see. See, I'm going to be fangirling. Billy D. Williams, William Shatner. I love him.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin, Helen Hunt, who's fabulous. Just so many people that are of my era. John Schneider, the Dukes of Hazzard. Are you kidding me? He was the, gorgeous little heartthrob back in my day. So I'm really excited. The cast from Dallas and the lady, let me think, what was her name that was just in, I believe she was on The Sopranos and she was just in Nona's.
Oh, yeah.
Not Talia Shire, but the other.
Not the older lady
Oh,
who had the salon in it.
oh no, that was Susan Sarandon and she was
Okay.
fantastic. But
Yeah.
it was the other lady which was hilarious. Like I'll think of her name. I'll run across it here in just a minute. But yeah, Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we are so excited. I can't wait to be there.
And
It's
what we've
a lot of fun.
decided too for our audience is we're going to do a couple of shows while we're there with these stars. They'll just come over to our booth and we'll do a 5 or 10, 15-minute interview with them. So you're going to get to meet these people at Fanboy on our show, which will be televised when we get back.
Right, Lorraine Bracco.
Lorraine Bracco, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
she's fantastic. So yeah,
I
I'm
like her.
so
I like
excited.
her. Yeah.
This is such a big group of people that I am interested in seeing. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to be a fun show. So
Well, I'm excited about it because nobody knows it than us close friends of yours. It's your birthday, July 7th, 7/7.
7/7. That's right. I
That's
usually
my
don't
two favorite numbers, sevens, So
That's exactly, absolutely. And the thing is, I don't usually make a big deal out of my birthday, but this year's going to be extra fun. So I'm excited about it. Plus, I get to see my son, who I haven't seen, I don't know how long it's been, but I know it's been a year. I just thank God for FaceTime. I get to see him on that, but it'll be really fun to get together. I'm looking very forward to it.
I
So,
think a lot of people are taking advantage of FaceTime too,
oh
and
yeah. Oh,
cutting their actual in-person visits by doing FaceTime.
well, it was fun the other day. I got to FaceTime you with my little granddaughter.
Oh yeah, I met her.
Yeah.
What a beautiful girl.
Oh,
Thank
thank
God.
you.
You're blessed with your children and
Oh my
grandchildren.
goodness.
That's fabulous.
She's my little pal. She likes to be with me, which is great. She had slept over my sons, and they called me at about 12:30 at night, and she said, "Grandma, will you come and get me?" And so I went 1:45 a.m., got in
Oh
my
wow.
car, and drove up there and went and picked her up. So
That's great though.
yeah, it was very fun. So another movie I want to talk about, Prison Break.
Oh,
So
Prison Break was a great Prison Break was Brett Ratner created that and he gave me the job. And I said, I don't want to do a TV series. That was a TV series,
yeah,
And I didn't know it was going to do that well.
yeah,
It really did well. But the thing that bothered me, and anybody who's read my first book knows a lot about my private life. I was so adamant about staying out of prison, which sounds crazy, because I
well,
could have went to
most
prison
of
a
us
couple of
are.
times. I've left the country several times to avoid going to prison. But Prison Break, I would leave. This is the funniest thing. I'd leave on a Sunday afternoon to fly to Illinois, get off at O'Hare, they'd pick me up, and they'd take me out to La Jolla Prison. Now, all my life, I've been staying out of prison. Now I'm flying to turn myself into the prison on Sunday night, and I'd be there all week. And we actually had real prisoners in
In the show?
the no, right next to us where we're filming. We
Oh,
had
gee.
the actors in one cage in their recreational outside, and the others were really all prisoners. And I'm saying to myself, I nuts. And the show became a hit,
A big hit.
a
Yeah.
big hit, and they were renewing it. And I said, Brett, kill me off. He said, Are
Yeah.
you kidding? You know how much money you're turning down? I said, I don't care about money.
Oh, I
I'm
mean,
going to fly here, something I've avoided all my life. I'm going to fly here, spend 5 or 6 days and nights, because, we run 12, 14 hours a day. And thank God for our union, we don't return for 12 hours. So you can imagine by Friday, we're going to work at 3:30 in the afternoon and ending in Saturday morning at 3:30. So what are you
oh,
going to do then? Go to bed and start
right.
all over again?
That sounds terrible.
So
But
I had him write me out. You see, you're the only person that's happy to get dropped from a series.
right. So what was your role in that?
I played a brother. I can't even remember. I think we were the Steelgrave brothers. Um,
Oh, I think I read that. Yeah.
a great actor too, that kid. But he had a miserable death.
In the show?
Uh, he died of AIDS.
In the movie? In the show
No,
or
in
in
real
real life?
life.
Oh,
What was his name?
well, I will tell you because
Yeah, please. He was the star, actually.
yeah. And
Major
died of
guy.
AIDS? That's heartbreaking. Handsome guy, very handsome guy, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
I'm going to find out right now. Prison Break, right there. Dominic Purcell?
No, 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 no,
Oh, Wentworth Miller.
no. Who's the star?
Well, it shows him as the top credit guy.
Maybe that's his character name. What's his
Oh,
actor?
maybe. Is this your guy?
No.
Oh, well, that's the first guy that comes up. I'm not sure. There's a lot of handsome guys on here.
Yeah. No, I know most of them. I'm just saying, but who's the
They're
star?
just not the guy in the show. I don't know. I don't know. I'm here to tell you these are a lot of handsome prisoners.
I know, but that's where a lot of them got their start. That's why they're showing you them. You're so
Yeah,
funny. You are a typical audience. I love it. It's so crazy.
yeah. Oh, there's some good looking prisoners. I don't know who he is. He looks like a
I don't even know myself.
warden. He looks like the warden of the joint. I don't know, but
Well, anyway, whoever
oh,
could write into us, we'll.
yeah, tell us who he's talking about. Hold on, I got another guy. We're
I
going
need
through.
the names, not pictures. I'm not good with pictures.
Wade. His name's Wade.
I don't know him though. What do you keep
Oh,
sending me pictures of guys?
okay, okay. I
What
got
am I
you.
gay? Over here, gonna look at these eyes all night.
I'll tell you, I'll recognize a face. His name was Wade Williams.
Don't know him.
William,
Anyway,
William, somebody, Paul Adelstein, Rockman Dunbar, Marshall Almond, Stacy Keach. Oh, did you get to
Stacy
work
Keach
with
was
him
in
while you were on the show?
Yeah, of course.
You know who we did see at the last show? Is it Ed Greedy? Him and Stacy Keach remind me a lot of each other. And so I wished I would have paid better attention because I've really liked him in shows. All right, so we've got Prison Break out of the way. So most of these movies you have done are
A lot of them were television.
right,
The movies were movies. There are 46 movies.
right.
Then there's 200 hours of television.
All right. One of my favorites. I've always been into like investigative type movies, Rockford Files. You
Oh
did
my
a whole
God.
bunch of those.
He
So
was the best. I mean,
James Garner.
James Garner, on and off screen, a gentleman of gentlemen, and we hit it off. And I just had taken up golf, which I thought I would never do. And he's an adamant golfer. So, and he invited me to play with him so many times. I shouldn't clear that up. Not to play with him, but to play golf with him. There's so
Yeah.
many perverts out there. And they're next to be quoting me that I played with James.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, the reason I'm bringing up, he was so nice to me because I was a brand new golfer. He's a scratch golfer, and he taught me so many things. But that was fun, and they called me back so many times. I did those. I really liked Prison Break. They were good. The other show I did a lot of too was Perry Mason.
I just saw that today. I did not know that until today. I hadn't, I didn't know you. I mean, we've talked about so many things before, and that was the first time I had seen Perry Mason come up on anything. I was shocked. With Ironsides, with what was that big guy's name?
Yeah, what was his name?
Oh,
Talk about a strange guy.
oh, really?
He would wear dresses when he was not on camera. Read between the lines. You go to his dressing room to rehearse lines or something. He's dressed in a dress.
He's a big man, right?
No kidding. Raymond Burr, was it?
Right.
What was it?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Now
No.
that's a new one.
Oh, believe me, when you get into show business, I used to call Brando, who was my neighbor up on Mulholland Drive, and I used to tease him. I said, "Who are you today?" Before I come over, because
So
sometimes I come over there, he had a dress on. Sometimes he was dressed like a sailor. He was totally insane. But he went through so much. I'm talking about a guy with bad luck with
right.
children and suicides. And
So was there a lot of that going on in the movies? Because there's been so many people. I get like right now, I'd be really shocked if someone came and said, Brad Pitt or someone like that. We'd go on set and he was dressed like a woman, which, you know what I mean? It just is so unheard of now. And people that are big
it's really
stars,
not. It's not unheard of, but they keep it under wraps because it destroys their camera image, and
okay,
it takes away from the rating of the show. Because
sure,
John Q. Public is not going to tune in. I mean, a lot of people know there's some big actors that have been brought to court for
sure,
all that kind of stuff. I don't want to
right,
mention them because they'd be suing me next. But
right. And I'm not saying Brad Pitt was dressing like that, but I'm just saying back when you know, you see all these movie stars, and of course everyone thinks they know because we've watched them in movies and stuff, but it just always surprises me. I would be real surprised if, you know, that someone came out now. Well, now it's popular. I mean,
Well,
it's
now everybody comes out now, but before
right,
they
right.
never came out, and they
They
actually
kind of did.
they actually hooked up people. Like I remember they put Doris Day with Rock Hudson.
Right,
Well,
right,
Rock
right,
Hudson was totally gay,
right,
but they
and
couldn't let the audience know that.
right.
So
That's
they used to do that a lot in Hollywood just
right,
to preserve their stars.
right. And to get movies started and getting some talk going about these movies coming around and these people turning into couples and yeah,
Oh no, that's all, it's all the gossip magazines and and it sells tickets.
marketing.
Yep,
They
yep.
knew what they were up to.
Do they ever?
Yeah.
They still do. I mean, I laugh
Oh,
at it
sure.
now, but
You know, I thought about that, and you know, you hear so much crazy stuff going on with movies and things like that, and movies that come out, and then all of a sudden this big scandal comes out. The Blake Lively thing of her last movie.
oh, I don't know what that's about at all.
Well,
I mean,
well,
they're
right.
just
I'm just
milking
saying
that to death. Jesus.
all well, right. It was all you heard for a while, and now it's all back to Diddy. But I just was so curious that I thought, I hope these people aren't just doing things to get people interested in seeing this show because they want people to
Well, a
go.
lot of it is that. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of that is, you got to keep your name out there. So create something.
Well, that's what my aunt used to say. One time she said, "Don't worry about what's being said. Just be glad your name's getting mentioned." And I thought that was the funniest thing. Like, I don't want to be in trouble. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
The bottom line, though, all that's, well, again, I can't say it's hurting the business because here we are talking about it. Everybody
Oh
else is
my
talking
gosh.
about it. I mean,
Well,
it's, I'm really, you mentioned something that I'm really interested in now more so than ever saw Monster after I saw Monsters
oh,
Ball.
sure.
Now the jury's out. So you should be getting a verdict soon. I don't know how they think this guy's going to walk.
Right. You know, that's what I wondered. And you know, it'll be interesting to see how long that jury takes to deliberate. I don't even know for sure what the charges are. I know one of the charges is it racketeering or something, and
Oh yeah, I mean he's got. I mean
got a ton of
everything.
them.
He's got a lot of them. I mean, and very serious ones. He's looking at life with the electric chair.
Oh,
They
electric.
they have him connected to two murders that are not solved yet.
Oh, I think I heard
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
something in the tunnel by his house or something, right?
yeah.
You just,
And a lot of guys flipped on him, especially people who worked for him because he was so rude to most of them.
yeah,
I mean, this guy was a foul mongrel. I knew nothing about him.
yeah.
I know.
I didn't.
I heard about all these stupid parties, and I was invited to the white party out at the Hamptons. I said, I don't go to those kind of parties. Forget about it.
Yeah,
I don't like crowds that. I really don't mingle with Hollywood people, or maybe they don't mingle with me. Not like I have the choice, but I like doing business. To me, and I remember Jack Benny told me this long ago. After I just did The Godfather, Sinatra used to tell me, go pick up Jack Benny. That's when he was at the Tropicana Hotel, and I had my club. And my club was open till 6 in the morning. So he's going to say he's got nobody there. But I saw him outside my car. And he became very close to me. He's like an old uncle to me. That's how I looked at him. And he said to me one morning when the sun is coming up, he said, remember one thing about show business. I said, what's that? He's remember, business is the bigger word. Show business. Do the business in the business. And I did.
you
I
sure
did.
did.
And I made a lot of money.
I'll tell you, you had some great mentors.
Oh
And,
my God, yeah.
you
And
know, the thing about your life is from starting out where you did, uh, being stuck in that bed for so long, and then you hit the floor running, and you've taken advantage of so many opportunities. You did that one thing where they say you've got two ears and one mouth, listen twice as much as you talk. And now you get to talk about it because you listened and you took advantage of what you heard, and you've made such a great life with it. You know what I mean? You have
The thing is,
learned
like you
from.
pointed it out, and I'm glad you did. I really had people that took a liking to me. I respected them. I mean, Frank Costello, I'm sitting in his house. I just know, not a day that goes by that I don't remember everything about the guy. But
Right.
it's nice, and that's why even what I'm doing with my charities and all that, it's you got to give back. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people just take and
Right.
never give back. And I think that's why it just keeps on going. I mean, the deal I made this weekend, I hate to reiterate, but this deal with, Resorts World is insane.
Right.
Now that they opened their doors and let me know. And they got an exclusive on me.
Right.
And I'm so happy to be with these people because they are the gurus of our business, and they're owned by some people I met years ago. I went, don't even ask me why I went to the King of Malaysia's birthday party in Malaysia. Well, people who own this company, the parent office of this company is in Malaysia. They know me. And they said, get Gianni Russo. And Dino, that's all he had to hear. This guy, I love this guy. I don't want to mention his name, but he's the major guy with them. And he wanted me to be with them for years. And you're going to see him and I all over the world because he is basically my boss. And
Yeah.
he's the head of player development. But we're just kind of a blast. I mean, the thing that I've been blessed with, I go to work, which I thought I'd never do, and I never had to, but I enjoy what I do. And to
Right.
get paid the money I get, this is ridiculous.
Well, you just keep making these deals that are insane.
Yeah.
It's like, how on earth are you it's just fun to see that you are making deal after deal, and it just keeps getting better. You're working now. I mean, clearly with looking at this list of movies and stuff that you have not worked, but my gosh, it seems to me like you're busier than ever.
Right now, yeah, fortunately. It's just where we are in the world, I think. And it's again, I'm taking advantage of it and I know how to work with it.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's the thing. You're smart, and you get these business deals together, do very little sleeping and a whole lot of networking, and you're pulling things out of a hat that are remarkable. I mean, just to be, and the thing about you is you are in good shape. You take such good care of yourself. I know you and Julia just make these fabulous meals and are very conscientious about what you're doing there, and
oh yeah, no,
it's definitely paid off. Obviously, you've got a good woman by your side that's helping keep you in good shape. But the other really cool thing about what you're doing is, I was just trying to pull this up because your foundation that
Johnny believes you can.
Gianni believes you can is going to benefit from this as well, and you've got to
Oh
be
my God, it's
so
already
proud
doing
of
it.
that.
And I just got a beautiful letter from a lady, a young girl who was so diligent all through high school, kept over a 90 average for the whole 4 years.
That's
She
incredible.
got a scholarship. They, I need one, Hostroff, I could say the school, very high-end school. And they offered her that she could finish the whole course of a doctor for 6 years. She could do it within 5. And they're giving her a scholarship. And so now she came to me, knowing that what I do, and I know her mother well. In fact, her mother cuts my hair. That's how for years, and that's how I got to know this girl and watched her grow up. So I'm sponsoring her now for the deficiency of the other tuitions. But to me, it's so rewarding. And because, in 5 years from now, I'll go to her graduation and she's a doctor at 23.
It's incredible. It is so neat to know that you're making a difference for this girl, not to mention other kids that are benefiting from this as well. And
I've been blessed.
you have been, and it's just like you said, being able to help these people. I know there's different things out there, but it's not always that easy. And I'll tell you, the difference you're making in just this one person's life is incredible. And there's a story of the starfish where there's a guy walking along the beach and there's a starfish on there's starfish and he's picking them up and throwing them back in the ocean. And I guess there's hundreds along the beach, and they said, why are you doing that? There's hundreds of these and you're never going to get them all back in the ocean. They're never all going to live. It's not going to make a difference. And he picked another one up and tossed it back in the ocean. He said, I made a difference to that one. And I just think every little thing.
I never heard that story.
Oh my gosh. I hadn't heard it either, but a bigwig at the VA came and brought me that and brought me a pin one day. And that's when I read the story and I thought, oh, that's I was so proud of that, to think it's so nice to know that even if you're helping one person, it just, one at a time. So
one person, that's it. One
Yep.
person, one at a time.
And this new gig you've got going now is going to be able to spread the word and help a lot of people. So
Oh my God, yeah. I'm really
so
excited about that. I'm
I'll
excited
say.
about that. And you know what's interesting about what you just said? The meetings I had all weekend at Resorts World, they got so involved in what I'm doing also. So they're going to support it.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to have a whole other revenue stream that I never even thought of, because they just love the image, that yes, casinos are a vice, but here we are giving back to this. And
Oh.
they thank me for letting them come in. I'm saying to myself, I should thank you. Forget about it.
Oh, it's just, yeah.
And
It's
for
that.
our audience, 100% of all the money that goes to Gianni Believes You Can goes to the kids. Even with the dinners I have, that's all I pay for the groceries I do. I'm not, that we've known a lot of people that, especially stars that got involved with charities, that get a portion of what they raise.
Yeah. Oh,
Jerry Lewis was one of them. But I'm saying, I mean, I just want them to know that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. I mean, obviously you've been blessed and you're spreading it around and it's fantastic. So,
we ran out of time. You believe
oh,
this?
well, you know what? Please, everybody, if there's a particular movie you want to hear about, particular questions about any of the movies, you can reach out. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can leave comments there. There's lots of different places where we can get back to you. Hi to Jose. He's always saying hello.
Oh yeah, Jose, my man, we love you.
That's right. But you can, somebody wrote on one of the comments today, you guys don't answer any of the questions on here. And I thought, well, we answer them on the podcast. So if you do send us a question, we try and answer them on here. We could write them there.
So you hear about it. And
that's right.
Contributed.
Well, I'll tell you what, because I know Gianni, he could tell us, he could write a quick answer, but it's the stories that pop up in his mind, his memories, and how it comes off of you, Gianni. That's what's entertaining. That's what's fun to hear. And
Well,
so,
thank you.
oh, it's wonderful, and like I said, I never get tired of hearing people that we've interviewed, and you'll start talking to them, and then all of a sudden he'd be like, oh, that was my Uncle Joe, or all these people that you've been involved with, and it's so fun to hear those stories. So we're glad you're listening. Send us your story or your questions, ideas. Oh, another thing, Gianni, we are getting a lot of compliments on our new song for the opening of the show.
I know. I have to give all that credit to Mike.
The Mike, yes,
Mike Austin, who's our main tech guy. He created the jingles. I'm hearing the same thing, and that girl's voice is amazing.
exactly.
And so my hat's off to Mike Austin. And that's another guy that without him, we'd be doing nothing. And
Right.
what's interesting is that most people don't know you were a fan of the show. That's
right.
how you got here, which is
That's
wild.
exactly how. Because I would call or not call in, but I would write in and ask you questions. And just because I would hear on podcasts, I'd hear different stories, and I thought, well, I don't know the answer to this, and maybe they didn't get to the answer, but it sounded there were a few things that I thought Gianni might know some background on these things, and that's exactly how I got on here. So I'm here to represent the people that are fans. We're not fact checkers. We're not debaters. We're here to listen to your stories, ask you questions, and enjoy it, and which is exactly what I do. So
And
thank
don't
you.
forget Fanboy,
Oh,
Fanboy Expo
that's
in
right.
Knoxville, July 11th. It's coming up, man. We'll be there the 11th,
11th.
10th, and 12th, and come celebrate
Oh, my birthday.
Jeannie's birthday,
That's right.
7/7.
That's right. Well, it'll be right after, and it's going to be a really fun birthday. I don't usually take a lot of vacations, and I don't usually make a big deal of my birthday, but this year I'm breaking both the rules, so I can't wait.
From now on, you'll be with us.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm so excited. So,
All right, great. Till next week. Next week's the mailbag, so get your letters and cards in, please.
that's right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right, good night now.
Hollywood Godfather, swinging bold, unveiling legends both new and old. Gianni and Jeannie shine that light, bringing golden ages back tonight.